Just wanted to fit in a couple speed runs over the weekend. So it should be good. My timer is good. So yeah, just gonna be practicing this one for a little bit. Then on my way, I see Dr. Jellyfish in chat, Nelith, Shibu. I am doing pretty good. Yeah, sitting nice and tight. 22 turn speed run. That is like 20% shaved off. A little bit under 20% to for the run. That would be insane. Shouldn't it be paused? Yeah, I think with the Rakarth update, they might have broken the timer. Seems like I did some tests and it's just not working like it was before. So it's just gonna be real time. Not too much of a problem really, since real time is sometimes more important than game time.
Bow before Rakarth.
Ooh. So yeah, how are you guys doing?
Feast my
I usually don't do weekend streams unless it's like a tournament really. So this is sort of different.
You fought well.
Also haven't really done many I haven't done many. Oh, I was gonna say something. Let's see, upgrades. What was the strategy I did again? A bunch of Dark Riders, right? I think. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't done too many of these runs before, so hopefully it all goes okay. But this is gonna be a pretty different stream from how I usually run things. Essentially, it's just I felt like doing a Rakarth speedrun, and then I felt, you know, might as well hit record while I'm at it, just in case anyone wanted to watch. Really, it should be good. Taking it real easy though. There is some news going on, I guess. Like I may be a working man soon. I have a job interview on Wednesday, so that could possibly affect the streams. That is yeah, there's a little bit of a worry of that, I gotta say. But fingers crossed there aren't too many problems. Then I can mostly just continue streaming as I usually would. It's all working remote, so if I can find a couple free hours, maybe I can stream during my lunch break, who knows.
Let this world away. Dragon Master.
There was also some unfortunate stuff too.
Submit to me.
I didn't get the Twitch partnership, unfortunately. They need a consistent 75 average. Just because it fluctuates, they didn't give me the partnership, but I think that's okay. You don't really get too many perks with a partnership either, so it's really no biggie. But yeah, that's basically it going on for me. You guys, I don't know. You guys do a lot of, I'm sure a lot of people in chat are mostly just Warhammer stream watchers. I'm not sure.
Feel the power.
In general, I don't really watch a lot of campaigns. Usually I just play Warhammer campaigns instead of spectating them. So it's always interesting to see a lot of Marauders. Yeah, it's always interesting to see or to imagine people coming in to watch. Maybe that's just me though. In general, I think a lot of games do have a lot of people that'll just watch it and never play it. I know that's sort of the same for me with StarCraft. I love watching StarCraft. I almost never play it nowadays. Could just be time constraints too. Possibly even just work and so on. I know I watched a fair number of streams during work. StarCraft 2 or Brood War? Oh, StarCraft 2. For me, I never really got into Brood War. Although I did play it a good amount. When I did, I was young enough where most of the time I was just playing casual, like custom battles and so on. I never really got into the nitty-gritty of competitive Brood War. Although I think that definitely would have been fun. Alright, now. Gotta clump up these Marauders so I can get a sweet breath attack with the Hydra. Otherwise, things are gonna get pretty bad in just a second. Okay, here we go. Get the breath attacks. I won't be commentating too much on the game since I'm sure a good number of you guys have seen the run before. No need to really go too deep into it unless there's any questions. Brood War is worth getting into, if only to watch Artosis. Let's see here. Artosis stream and enjoy his rage. I have seen a bit of that. It is quite enjoyable. Okay, now big question. Are we actually gonna lose this battle? We will have to see. Actually sort of getting swarmed by Marauders a tiny bit. Gonna lose a bit of infantry, but I believe I'll be okay with the Dark Riders. Plus I have the Hydra too, so battle should be okay, but it is a bit of a time loss having to micro this a bit more than I usually would. But yeah, it's mostly gonna be the Hydra carrying, I think. You watched Tastosis cast Brood War when you were younger? Nice, nice. I don't think I ever really got into the viewing of multiplayer back in the Brood War days. It was always just playing casual games. That was my jam. StarCraft 2 is nice, yeah. That's the one where I really started getting into things. For sure. I think I was supposed to get dogs in this battle. I feel like I'll need to remember to get a slightly larger army next time. It's actually going pretty badly. It trains your micro? Oh yeah, indeed. StarCraft 2, the micro in StarCraft 2 is crazy. Yeah, there was insane amounts of things to manage. Like even at my peak of StarCraft 2, it never felt like I could play like I was playing optimally. Crazy thing about that game, like at least with Warhammer, it feels like you can get like pretty close to optimal, but StarCraft, it's just it's insanity. All right, now Rakarth has routed. Doesn't mean things are over yet, but I might do a quick restart. Using army groups, very useful in Warhammer 2. Oh yeah, actually being able to reach the army groups, very, very important. For me though, strangely enough, I actually didn't really get into using my army hotkeys until after Warhammer. In StarCraft, I was just a Protoss player. So I think my hotkeys were like 1, 2, and 3. And I didn't really go higher than that. It was Warhammer that got me to actually focus on that a bit more. And do better on that front. Which I guess was pretty unexpected, but I guess I was playing Protoss. And I had really optimized my my micro at that point. Alright, now if I can just kill off this Norscan Lord, then we should be seeing terror routes on most of these guys. But you know what, this battle sort of went on way too long. I'm gonna do a quick reset. In Warhammer 2 you can use it too. Oh, camera hotkey. Really? You have camera hotkeys in Warhammer? Like, you mean in general, or what? Protoss needs hotkeys. You thought they always need F2? Oh man, the thing about F2, it's such a bait. It pulls in all your observers. I know you're kidding, but like, yeah. I always pulled in all my observers when I used F2 too much. I had to actively avoid using it because it's such a bad habit, especially as like Zerg. You can really pull in more troops than you want to. It's brutal. It is definitely useful though. Where's Rakarth? Here, nice.
Every beast is mine to command.
Yeah, it's useful, but you shouldn't overuse it. It's so easy to overuse. Then you get like bad habits with your control groups and so on. For me, the hardest thing was microing Templar and Sentries at the same time. I never got used to that. Same with Phoenixes. That was always difficult. Now observers can be set to stand still. Oh yeah, I was there for that update, but optimally, right, in the heat of battle, you want the observer not to be deployed so it can actually move where it needs to be. But having them deployable did help save many a stray observer in the early game.
These thugs have met them.
Although still, it sort of reinforced the bad habits. 100%. Played Zerg, kind of have to use hotkeys for that. I'd imagine so. Let's rating. Nice.
My name shall echo.
Yeah, Zerg is. Oh man, I tried learning Zerg. They are very difficult to learn, coming off of Protoss. Terran too, honestly. The macro for all those factions is so different. It's quite the task actually. Quite the task actually figuring out how to macro with them alone. I feel like I was sort of a platinum level for Zerg and Terran at best. Select all units. Can be infantry, artillery, shooting units.
Weaklings all around.
Oh, very strange hotkeys for Warhammer 2. Yeah, I don't really use any of their default hotkeys. I just go ahead and what's it? Yeah, with Warhammer, I just go with the 1 to 9 hotkeys.
Beast, my beast. Triumph as always.
Although using an infantry, artillery, or range unit hotkey wouldn't be terrible. In fact, the artillery hotkey is probably the best out of all of them.
They know I am superior. Dragon Master.
Yeah, I think I don't recruit anything here. Zerg is a race for people who like to destroy their keyboard. Need very high APM. Yeah. Inject a larva on every single hatchery. And then microing Zerglings. You have the Ravager micro. Just everything. Sanity. That. And then disable these 3. Yeah, I think Zerg macro-wise is pretty crazy. I think micro is probably hardest for Terran though. Because Terran, they need to always be splitting up their infantry. Like, you miss micro your siege tanks and you don't siege fast enough, and then everything dies. Yeah, just super quickly. Things can go downhill very fast for Terran. Also, I didn't need to recruit units this time around. Rip. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, with Terran. They're in a pretty crazy situation. It's like, in fact, Banelings are the true bloated corpses, really. They should give bloated corpses like 72 speed, and then they would actually sort of function like Banelings and be okay. That'd be terrifying, but amazing. I think they'd be pretty meta. Just put the thing on a horse or something. Can't really go wrong there. Feel like playing StarCraft 2 again? Yeah, it's very hard to avoid getting the itch. Just keeps coming back. Alright, so I recruited some useless harpies. That's pretty unfortunate. But I can remove those units now. I can also remove most of this infantry, so I have more money. Same with the bolt thrower. Nice. See, that would be horrible. Infantry just couldn't get away. Well, like, the idea is they're supposed to shoot them to death, or, you know, the usual ways of dealing with bloated corpses, but I think they would actually be viable if they went ahead and did that. Yeah. Feel like some viable bloated corpses. That'd be pretty cool. Although elite infantry would have it pretty rough. Yes, Black Ark. Okay, yeah, 72 speed's probably a bit too much. That's like brood horror speed, right? But like, you know, you can send in your heroes to block it. There's a bit of dynamics going on there for sure.
Witness my strength, Rakarth.
72 speed bloated corpses can micro. Actually, yes, they'd be able to run away from lords too. How about what would be a good speed? Like what, 60? Oh yeah, you can dodge missiles. Yeah. What? Like, you could dodge like gunshots with that, right? You can dodge more than just bullets at that speed, especially with how small they are. Maybe if you just make them huge, make them absolutely enormous, and then you're set. Taking the Black Ark just so that I can start recruiting in just a second.
Tamer of dragons.
Let's still can't recruit those guys. 50 speed. 50 speed seems okay. What is that? That's like sort of Morngul. Bows, crossbows, etc. are not really hard to micro. Yeah, you'd be able to dodge most archer fire for sure. I mean, some factions would have it really rough. But I think it would be really fun to have a working loaded corpse in the meta. Because right now it's almost impossible to actually get them to work.
These weaklings are worth something.
Although, despite saying that, I did have a pretty amazing best of 3 the other day. With, well, not best of 3. I had a pretty amazing game the other day, with bloated corpses. Where I took, like, what, 5 against Beastmen? Controlled by Hadries, and actually managed to win it. That was quite the event. So this run, I sort of lucked out on the monstrous units. I have an extra mammoth. So that should actually help out a really good amount. Let's see. So I need to get the battle here for Rakarth. Quest battle. That one's pretty important. Vampire Coastcaster has a scroll. That is true. The stealth scroll. With hiding and plus 24% speed. Yeah. Some people can still micro against it though, and the main problem with the bloated corpse, I think, is that it's expensive enough where even if it hits every single target, that like even if it hits dead on a unit of infantry, no one really takes expensive infantry against coast anyways. So it doesn't yeah, it just doesn't really work out super well, because the biggest unit of infantry you'll be hitting is gonna be like what, like 500 gold maximum. If you're lucky, you'll hit a unit of berserkers from Norska, but that's about it. It also give them an ability where they run faster, but when it runs out, it dies. Okay, that's pretty cool. Good target versus cavalry. Oh, that is true. Although the cavalry is usually pretty cheap too. Like on a perfect hit, the bloated corpse, it does okay. On a perfect hit. Like if you kill a unit of 550 gold cavalry, that's all right. Maybe against wood elves, against wild riders, that would actually be pretty nice. And that is a shenanigan that I would actually be interested in trying out sometime. Good target is cavalry, but it's too fast. Yeah, you have to wait for the cavalry to move in. Still though, you just need to get good hits with them. In the worst case scenario though, it's terrible. If one bloated corpse doesn't hit properly, that's minus 400 gold. That's like all your money. Just devastating, man. Absolutely devastating. Alright, so I'm gonna march stance all the way down. I think Rakarth stays up here for a bit, so that he can deal with the invasion of the Empire. Sometimes they come up to me. I like the idea of blowing up cavalry though. Most of the time, people go for mass archer. Up against a mass archer build though, I guess bloated corpses are okay. If you can kill off a unit of rangers, that's actually that's not terrible. Oh, and could get a pick on the Marienburg guys over here. Seems like an okay choice. Wonder. Yeah, I'm gonna try a slightly different route here because this is a really nice pick.
The thrill of battle awaits.
I'll have to try it out. I probably won't have a Vampire Coast day for a while though. So I don't think I'll be running too many bloated corpses, but maybe I'll mix them in. I'm not sure.
Dark Rider crossbows.
There are so many factions in this game to learn though. Almost an insurmountable task. I think if I actually did get to do Warhammer full time, I could possibly learn all the factions, but like even in StarCraft, most of the time people only learn one faction in that game. At least people only master one faction. No one really goes and learns absolutely. Well, actually, no. There are people that play random in StarCraft, so never mind. But they're usually very hardcore players. All right, nice. So, killed off all the archers. The faster you kill off the archers in this battle, the easier you can ×4 speed it, because you just put all your guys on skirmish mode and they usually they'll do okay. The goal is just getting them into army losses as quickly as possible. That usually means you have to snipe out the Lord. Remember Day 9 liked to play random? Really? I thought he was mostly a Zerg main. Maybe like later on he went full on for random, but that's pretty cool. I'd imagine the temptation is definitely there though. I know for me, I feel like I need to learn every Warhammer faction so I can actually give a proper analysis on it. Unless you mean he played random during his competitive days, in which cases. Imagine if there was a random function for Warhammer in multiplayer. Just have people like your faction isn't decided until you load into the game. How would that work? I guess that wouldn't really work because people need to see your faction and you still have to set up your army, but that'd be something. Day9 on stream played random a lot. Cool. Oh, nice. I got a Charybdis. Gee. I've really farmed up the monstrous units this one.
They bow only to Rakarth.
Let's see. That, then I guess Rakarth. Gonna make an army and then set sail that way. Let's see. The Plutonians, if I declare war on them, I'm hoping they sail out to fight my Black Ark. Then I can get some free picks over there.
Born to command.
Then I should be able to get that building upgrade in just a second. Cool, this is looking alright. Let's... Yeah. Right, last 15 turns, so if I use it now, I'll have it for the rest of the run.
I have prevailed.
Well, I think this run is going alright. Day9 did it on stream and explained what he was doing, but you forget. RIP. It would have to be a random faction with an auto-gen army for that to work. Okay, now the question is, would that actually be worth it? You have an auto-gen army, but it means people don't really counter you. So a lot of factions that suffer from hard counters would actually do really good. For example, the dwarves would actually have a pretty nice time. Oh, that's strange. It just left Langui open. Alright, I'll take it. But yeah, so auto-gen kind of sucks half the time. That is true. Most of your money is wasted on chevrons. Like a lot of money. I feel like they could really improve the auto-gen armies, but I understand that that's not a priority. Oh man, this is weird. Because this is such a standard multiplayer map. I recognize it so well. I'm not used to just straight up playing on a multiplayer map during my Warhammer campaigns. Oh, strange. Alright. Skirmish mode. Take one of these guys. Run them into some infantry. We explode them. Battle ends very quickly. The habit of giving you campaign units. Oh, that's really bad then. Okay, so let's say you play random autogen, you get campaign units. Would that actually be helpful though? Honestly, most of the campaign units are only okay. Really, the best one is the Norskin Hell Cannon. And even then, with autogen, I don't think it helps too much. And a lot of the armies are pretty standard too, so I guess your opponent could go for a pretty standard averaged out army. And then there'd be problems also. But I like the idea. Would very much enjoy if one day we could have some sort of random faction selection. Although that is very, very low on the list of priorities in terms of things that I want to see done with Warhammer. Let's see, so I'm gonna need to get a Supreme Sorceress out of this Black Ark. I'm gonna increase my money by a bit. It costs population. Okay. Well, that changes things up a tiny bit, doesn't it? Alright, well, Rakarth can still head over eastward and start taking settlements, I guess, while I wait for the Supreme Sorceress. Not sure how this one is gonna go. I'm sort of going off course with the usual route, but I guess it's good to experiment a tiny bit.
My powers are growing.
All right. But this one could go south pretty quickly.
Submit to me.
Especially if Rakarth dies early, but who knows? Things will go great. I'm also gonna have to cancel this building because I have no money.
Black-hearted dreadlord.
I'm wondering, Rakarth probably should have been following my Black Ark, I think. Alright, there we go. Nice. This looks like a pretty easy fight I kill off all of Lewin's units, and then I can take Corone really easily. It makes it a lot less of a hassle than it usually is. And then it's just fingers crossed that Rakarth doesn't get mega murdered. Wait. Is this still Languy? It is. Fun. Alright, so I guess priority number 1. Kill off the trebuchets. Use these guys as a distraction. Dogs will be going about. These knights are gonna be a problem for sure. How about the Pegasus Knights? I'm not sure. Okay, looks like Pegasus Knights are not gonna be an issue. Jeez, they got real murdered. Okay, so I'm gonna sacrifice a unit of dogs and maybe some Dark Riders just to tank the cavalry long enough for this explosion ability. And if I can kill off all the knights early, then I am in a great situation. So landing this hit's pretty important. We're gonna give it the time it needs for these guys to clump up. It's gonna be glorious. Come on. Hey, big money. I lost a lot of dogs though. That's a bit unfortunate. See, I guess I don't really need to kill off the trebuchet either. That's sort of less important. Alright, oh yeah, I forgot. In this battle, Lewin's actually pretty beastly when it comes to, when he fights in campaign. His combat stats are crazy, so gotta be real careful of him. Hopefully I can focus him down with the Charybdis and others. I'm actually gonna take a few losses here, but I think that should be fine. Okay. Wow. Did my are my cavalry units dying to trebuchets? That's pretty surprising. Hopefully that doesn't go too badly. Lewin 2 diving on in. I don't know. See if we'll see if I'm able to win this battle even. I said it looked pretty easy, but I guess just the archer fire is causing a bit of issues here. Same with the trees, can really muck things up. Where's my lord? Should be helping kill Lewin. Alright, but now that I actually have dogs in on the fight, I think I should be okay. The dogs are really good at chasing off archers. If you want the AI fields a lot of range units. Just bringing a single unit of mobile units is really nice. You can just force them into skirmish mode, or because they are in skirmish mode, they'll just be constantly running away, and it's generally pretty easy to shut them down. What are we at? 23 minutes? We're not even 1/3 of the way through the run yet. Assuming I can actually get this down to an hour 30 minutes. But, you know, no guarantees. Wait, so what did we lose? Let's see, I lost 200 troops. Pretty significant. Oh boy, well, we'll see. We'll see how this run goes. Okay, cool. I didn't actually lose any models, so that's very important. Oh man, I'm tempted to go for slaves, but I'm gonna raid some captives, just because the replenishment won't really affect me. Just because it's on Languy instead of the rest of my army. Turns tend to take longer as the game goes on. Yeah, that too. Like, technically, we're halfway through on the turn count,
Bow.
but I'm nowhere near actually finishing this campaign. There's gonna be a lot of battles, and they just sort of ramp up more and more as you get further into the run. Now, I like to go Supreme Sorcerers here. I'm gonna take the one with actually, movement range is pretty sick, but I'm gonna go with the loyalty,
Supreme sorceress of growth.
because loyalty issues are a huge pain that I do not want to deal with.
Cain favored
And then Rakarth is just gonna go sack this settlement here,
command.
because we've seen 2 Marienburg armies already. So yeah, we've seen 2 Marienburg armies, which means that they shouldn't have too much in their actual home provinces, and Rakarth should be able to clear them out pretty easily. So this is an auto resolve, because I want to kill off all of Lewin's forces. That works pretty well. He has another army though, but that's pretty standard. This one, I'm gonna play out so I reduce my losses. Then it'll speed up the attack on Corone. It's pretty interesting though. This speed run, I feel like it's actually pretty different between each run. Like, the RNG actually affects it pretty heavily. So there's a lot of like dynamic adapting to your situation. Out of all the speed runs that I've ever done for Warhammer, I think this is definitely my favorite. There were a few that were definitely a lot faster. But this one has a lot going on in it for sure. Pretty good. Also, this is the 3rd time in a row that we are playing on Langui. But the strategy seems to be working so far. Essentially, I've just baited out every single Bretonnian army and Marienburg army to fight me here, and we've just constantly been able to pull out victories here. And yeah, with those victories, their armies just get really whittled down, so that when we actually go ahead to capture their provinces, things should go really smoothly. You find watching speedruns that have to adapt really fun? Yeah, very fun to play too. I do enjoy really like mastered speedruns though, like the Ocarina of Time and all those other types of runs where it's like insanely optimized is also very impressive. Where they're doing like, you know, frame perfect tricks in like a 1-hour run to save like 2 seconds because that matters. Or like the Super Mario runs. Just the amount of dedication to actually get to that point. Insanity. Yeah, the Super Mario ones especially. Because people have been doing that for like forever. Longer than I've been working. Like, they've been doing it full time too. It's just like a full dedication to the craft.
A dutiful servant.
I wish I had enough time to get there one day, and who knows, maybe I will, but
They bow only to Rakarth.
Dreadlord of
actually maybe not. I do like my variety when it comes to Warhammer. If I had to only play multiplayer or only play if it was only multiplayer or only only campaign, I would definitely get bored of Warhammer for sure. I enjoy sort of flipping around. Hey, Ice Power. I hope the day goes well for you, or is going well for you. I'm attempting a Rakarth speedrun. So far, things are going okay.
Dark Rider
Things are also going very differently from how they usually play out. So I don't know if this run is already doomed, but it seems like it's going pretty well so far. Basically, I'm killing Corone first instead of diving straight towards the instead of going for Marienburg, and that's come with its benefits for sure. Also using a bunch of Dark Riders, very fun unit, and yeah, might even improve my Dark Elf play a tiny little bit, but obviously not by a lot. Variety is the spice of life. Indeed. Did that quote come from somewhere, or is it? Where did that quote come from? Is that just like a saying, or did someone actually? Does it show up in media? Because I've heard it a lot. Like in general, I'm pretty interested in, like, I don't know if etymology is the right word, but basically like the origin of quotes, phrases, and words, and so on. That interests me to no end. Just like watching the progression of language. Always a very fun time. I'd go more in depth, but I'm too focused on trying not to lose all my skirmishers right now. There's a lot of sayings like that. Yeah, that is true. Let's see. Am I losing my casters? No, they're doing okay. Oh man, these the thing about this army composition, it's really strong. Like, it's really good at killing armies, but the micro makes it very intensive, and if I don't play it perfectly, I have to slow down, slows down the run, and generally bad. Here we say variety is refreshing. That's a lot more straightforward than the whole spice of life thing. Actually, that's actually pretty great. Maybe I'll steal that one day. Etymology is fascinating. Your dad was a Latin teacher. Oh man, yo, that's sick. Oh man, I love the sound of Latin. I know that's very surface level, but I use it for, if I ever need like a fantasy name, Latin is a very easy place to go to. Diversity makes life interesting, as in what's this, Biblington? I'll read that all in a second. I got Bretonians to conquer. Oh, found this in a dictionary. Okay, let me conquer some Bretonians, and then I'll take a look.
Delightful screams.
The,
I will destroy them.
as in, Jim dates a different girl every week. Variety is the spice of life, he claims. Phrase comes from William Comper's poem Ask, 1785. Variety is the very spice of life that gives it all its all its flavor. That's cool. I like it. I dig it. It's surprising that it came from so long ago. The phrase itself feels more modern than feels a lot more modern, actually. Let's do the pull away strat. Come on, there we go. The OG womanizer. Yeah, that too. That once you actually get a bit of the backstory, then it's sort of like, oh geez, but in terms of the phrasing itself, removed from all of that classic 1785 stuff, it's pretty interesting. Let's see. I need to kill off these knights and the peasant bowmen. It's probably the biggest priority for me. Man, what was it? A different girl every week? That's insane. If you actually think about that, that is a lot. There are apparently traces of it all the way back to Greece around 400 BC. Jeez. That's pretty crazy. Good old Greece. I need to look more into history for sure. Really, honestly, a lot of my history is just comes in from games. That's like where that's where a lot of the interest comes in, actually. In fact, my geography has been much improved by Warhammer. Sadly enough. I was never really into geography as a kid, but when I had to figure out where everything it was in Warhammer, it actually helped out a bit. I imagine if someone developed a game that was actually based purely on real-world geography, I'd actually be learning a ton. Like in the end, yeah, because in the end, I feel very much that learning things just comes from being interested rather than anything else, like in school. You just need it to be interesting, and people will learn anything.
Guided by authority.
You're a Total War history nerd. That's why you got into Total War to begin with. See, the thing about me is that I was never a history nerd. That's why I started on Warhammer. So it got me down that path. All about that Warhammer. In fact, yeah, a lot of my Warhammer lore did actually come from Total War, funnily enough. So if you want to learn about games, you can play games, I guess. Also, interesting scenario right now. I'm actually about to run out of ammunition. That would be very bad. You used to absolutely suck at geography, but now due to games, you know geography pretty well. I would say, like, at this point, I've reached like the standard for what you would expect people to know geography-wise. I'm definitely not amazing at it, sadly. All right, Charybdis, go ahead and blow up all that cavalry for me, please. Because this battle is getting a lot closer than I really hoped it would. There we go. So all these knights are gone. This is actually pretty good for me because in general, Bretonia in Warhammer Total War, in the late game, they are really, really strong and hard to deal with. Yeah, you really want to make sure that the Bretonians don't start steamrolling, because they are insane in the late game. Their cavalry, especially their Grail Knights, have really good combat stats because of the campaign buffs, and they're basically impossible to kill. Not to mention the AI is also amazing at cycle charging, and it will 100% punish you if you're not careful. You like in an actual field battle, it's get quite rough. In fact, even right now, things are getting pretty sketchy. But oh wow, they killed my lord! How dare they? All right, it's fine. I can always recruit another. But that went a lot worse than I would have expected. I needed to have my monstrous units beside each other, but we still won it. You can bounce back pretty quickly in this game. When you lose units, you have money to recruit more. You always find high elves to be the worst to deal with. Oh yeah, they spam like phoenixes and tons of single entities. Let's see. I'm gonna sack and occupy. I'm gonna take this sorceress with movement range. So one thing that this means is that I don't have burning head. So that's gonna be pretty bad. Say, you want burning head to clear out infantry, but we can make do of the situation.
What is your dark purpose?
I guess I'll start recruiting corsairs. Emergency corsairs. They do pretty well in kite situations anyways. Not too bad. Then Rakarth can make landing, and then it'll be completely fine.
Supreme.
No worries at all.
Rakarth is
Now, this place I don't want to rebel. I want it to take as long as possible before that happens. Let's see. Yep, faction destroyed. Corone. Very good.
Sigma's fools.
Yeah, with Corone, if it rebels and I lose that settlement, I lose one of my win conditions for the campaign. So it's very important that that stays alive. Oh, nice. Marienburg is coming in to hack the settlement. That's not terrible. It sort of sucks, but it's not terrible. I might have to recruit another army depending on how strong that force is. We'll see. Also, a follow today. Thank you, Ginger Ninja. Much appreciated, good sir.
No.
So their army is fairly large. If I had Burning Head, I'd totally be able to win this fight. So it sort of sucks that I lost the Sorceress, but I feel like Wolfric. I feel like Wolfric's gonna hard carry that next turn, so I'm not too worried. This guy can start sailing around too, recruiting troops.
A legend among beasts.
I'll be good to go. Not even close. Let's see. More monsters or public order. Can this lady recruit monsters yet?
Supreme sorceress of growth.
No, she can't. I'll have to wait for that settlement to free up. So we'll go with public order for now. Alright guys, so which faction do you find is the worst to go up against in campaign? I saw, Lava says high elves are the worst to deal with. Dwarves, let's see, are dwarves pretty bad? I know they can field a lot of stacks. Greenskins can be pretty brutal too. Also Marienburg, what is with your armies? Why do you have so many troops? Skaven are pretty annoying. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're not the hardest to deal with, but they are such a pain to actually
Born to command. Show neither mercy nor
handle. Because they ambush battle you all the time, so you can't just march in with doom stacks, clear them out. Hey JG, Erhard. I am having a good Sunday. Just you know, enjoying some runs, chilling with chat. Ambush battles. Insane. Especially when you get to the point of the campaign where you're just sort of finishing things off. So having to go through the ambushes, the worst. Now, one army that actually was really hard for me to kill off a while ago, when I was playing a dwarf campaign, a beastmen army spawned of only minotaurs, and for the life of me, I could not kill it off. They were tanky enough where if I brought a full army of thunderers, they'd just be able to tank the first volley that came in, and then I'd be pretty quickly screwed over. As yeah, there just wasn't much I could do versus the minotaurs, and I didn't really have tier 3 units either, so I couldn't really field like an iron breaker box, let's say. And yeah, they just rampaged in the back line forever. It was a horrible experience. You needed an army of slayers. See, you say that. I'm pretty confident I threw an army of slayers at them and it still didn't work out, but I might be wrong about that actually. I could actually be misremembering. But like, I remember throwing multiple stacks their way and they would just run over everything. And it's like it's AI buffed minotaurs too. I think they were all great weapon variants. It was brutal. And yeah, with the dwarves, no crazy single entities. Maybe if I recruited a full gyrocopter box, like just spam out gyrocopters, that would have worked. I know early on in my Warhammer campaign days, I was actually pretty averse to tier 3 units. For whatever reason, I very much enjoyed the tier 1 units a lot more. And just spamming out fairly cheap armies when I played the dwarves, so that could have led to the problems. Are all the skirmish cavalry better than dark shards? Yeah, in some situations. With dark shards, if the enemy outnumbers you, dark shards can run into some trouble because the infantry will spread out, and yeah, the infantry would spread out and just. Oh, come on, Rakarth, get stuck in there. With dark shards, the infantry spreads out and sort of chases you to death. And early on in this campaign, it can be pretty hard to reach critical mass with your range units. So I go for the skirmish cavalry for the higher potential. They do have a little bit less ammunition though, which is pretty scary. Alternatively, they can also cycle charge, and that's another big plus. You said shades. Oh, yes. In terms of shades, they're too expensive. Otherwise, a full stack of shades would be able to kill basically anything for sure. But in my previous tests, shades basically, you'll only really be able to field one army, and then that's about it. And then you can't really spread out and do conquest as you usually would, at least not as effectively or quickly, with a full army of shades. Yeah, very unfortunate for sure. Although I have done full shade stacks before. They are insane. The cav are between dark shards and shades. Yeah, sort of. In terms of damage output, for sure, you would definitely want dark shards. But the cavalry they come in with so many extra perks, especially with the cycle charging, and their mobility lets them do a lot too. Like if I had, so this all of this cavalry, it's as expensive as an army of shades, I think. Or no, not shades, dark shards. Oh my gosh, the micro, it's killing my words. The cavalry, skirmishers are as expensive as dark shards. And if I had an army of dark shards this size, I would not have been able to beat this Empire army. Just because they'd be able to split up and sort of chase down all my troops. So I think it's good that I'm going for skirmish cav this run. The main downside though is that all the fights are sort of pretty close. So we run into this situation where I'm spending a lot of time in battle instead of X4ing and just winning fights handily. And then that definitely does waste a bit of time on the speed run. Eventually I'll want to experiment to see if I can optimize it better. In sieges, it'd be quite bad, you imagine. Yes, in sieges it's not great. But in this one, there's only a couple sieges you need to win. There's one in Altdorf, and there's Cologne. So with Cologne, you can beat it with the monstrous units fairly well. Same with Altdorf. So I don't think it's too important. But later on, in the late game of campaigns, you definitely would rather have better siege killers. What's the timer next to my head? Are you trying to win the campaign in 2 hours? Indeed. Trying to win it in under 2 hours, actually. Yeah, the timer's just a speedrun tracker. The Rakarth campaign is it's surprisingly quick. If you take a look at these win conditions, it's sack 20 settlements, capture 4 major cities, kill Cologne, Marienburg, get a ton of monsters. It's really fast. So I've been practicing it as a speed run, slowly optimizing it.
We're going to need a
Takes you 300 turns to win the campaign. Yeah, this is one of the shorter campaigns, but
Tyrants of Rakarth.
yeah,
Sail,
it's
damn you.
been quite the journey for sure. Now freaking Norska,
Dread Lord of
they
the
just
Awoken.
abandoned me here at Corone.
Supreme
But that's
sorceress
not the
of
worst
Grant.
scenario anyways. I can start recruiting some guys at Langui since I have so much extra money, and then they can come in to help fight at Corone.
Supreme sorceress
I
of
can't
Grant.
believe Wolfric didn't kill off the Marienburg guys though. Maybe he's sieging the other settlements, who knows.
Yes.
Cool. Let's see. So I need to get a bit more of an army on Rakarth, and then I can win this quest battle. Be good. Oh, it takes you 300 turns for normal campaigns? Yeah. It is indeed legendary, very hard, and chaos is disabled. Otherwise, you end up getting every other victory condition and you're just waiting for chaos. And then that's a lot less fun. Yeah, I don't blame you for not reading the title though. A lot of the time I don't look at titles of streams very much either. I just tune in to watch whatever's there.
Lord of
Alright,
the
so
Black
let's get this guy over here. Oh hey, Wolfric. That's where you are. Then yeah, I need to get Corsairs for that skirmish
Supreme
power.
sorceress of Grant.
And then this battle,
No.
I need to relieve this siege, otherwise I'm gonna run out of money. You're not constantly sacking.
The weak shall fall.
Definitely a lot of problems. I am simple man. I saw you online, so I clicked. No title reading here. Well, I appreciate it because now we get to chill, enjoy some speed runs. Should be good. I am at the 50-minute mark, and
Supreme sorceress.
we've already run into a hiccup. That's not the worst scenario ever. In fact, as long as I can actually tear apart Altdorf pretty quick, the pace would be looking pretty good. The main problem right now is just whether or not this fight goes well. And that's a bit up in the air right now. I might even lose a few troops doing this battle, so we'll have to see. Let's see, I have Supreme Sorceress here, so that's pretty good. They can spam out some fireballs. And then hopefully I'll be able to get some nice picks. What's this? There's a they have a Huntsman General.
Limitless power.
That's pretty annoying. I'll see if I can fireball him to death.
Supreme sorceress.
Risk of Rain speedrun when? Look, we can't even beat Risk of Rain yet, okay?
Feel my power.
There's no way that's gonna happen anytime soon. Hey, what's up? Happy to have you in chat, Zethane/Christopher. Hopefully, I'm hoping this Manticore can kill everything here. I might also lose some Supreme Sorceresses. This battle's actually gonna be pretty close.
Onward.
The thing about these runs is that close battles, although very good if you're trying to minimize your turn timer, are really bad when it comes to actually... it's really bad if you just want to speedrun the campaign, because... yeah, you usually just want to be ×4 speed all the time, but... so far it looks like this might not be as close as I think it is, but every time I say that, usually it gets pretty bad, so... not get too overconfident here. Yeah, I guess the Manticore summons onto the heroes is probably the best idea. I might also lose a Mammoth here, but if I do have a few extra monstrous units help me out, so I think I should be okay. And in fact, I think these Corsairs are probably going to be the biggest help here.
Dark Rider crossbow.
Ooh, it's going to be a close one though. see. Come on, Corsairs. Got this. How are these guys doing? The Huntsman General is actually going to be
Entertainment.
killing off the Mammoth, I think. That's pretty bad. We'll see. We'll see. I might reset depending on how this battle goes, but it's not a guaranteed reset. So don't get too worried, guys. Come on, Mammoth. Yeah, look at that. Knock this general right down the cliff. That's very good. See, I'm gonna see if I can save this Mammoth. Go ahead and pull it away. Can cause terror over here. Still be pretty useful. Then the Hydra can kill this Lord. Yeah, I think in terms of routing for this campaign run, generally, I think the best strategy is to make it so that all your battles are as one-sided as possible. For sure. So I'm about to lose my sorceress. See if I can save her. The fact that I still have a Hydra is probably my saving grace here. Hydra can basically kill everything. I think this one has healing too, just regeneration. Alright. Still though, very close battle, but this will save me a turn for the campaign. Go. The Empire Lord is basically dead. Okay. Nice. Next target, this Huntsman General. Take him out. Then my cavalry chases off the archers. Alright. Very close battle, but no major losses. Still have the sorceress that summons manticores. Very important. Mammoth is still alive for now. Oh boy, alright. And the general is down. And that's army losses. Thank goodness. Oh my. Jeez. Alright, way closer than it had to be. What? That only took like 6 minutes though. That's not too bad. So in terms of the overall run, that's only like, what? 5%? 5% of the run? Pretty good, pretty good. And if I can take Altdorf quickly, then this run is set. Oh my goodness, I forgot how to drink water. Spilled all over myself.
Accept my gift.
The Daruki are no
My
slaves.
power increases.
Alright. So nice. Now the best case scenario is if France confederates with the Marienburg guys.
Supreme sorceress of Grond.
If he does that, then I am in a wonderful position.
Supreme sorceress of Grond.
As if he does confederate, wow, she rebelled.
Forbids it.
How
Supreme
could she?
sorceress of Grond.
Okay, that's actually that's a little bit annoying. I need some troops so she doesn't siege this settlement. Really, I didn't expect her to rebel after disbanding her, but there you go. But yeah, if France confederates with Marienburg, it actually counts towards my victory condition, because the faction is counted as dead if that does go down. That would be rather good for me. So fingers crossed. It also means I don't have to take out as many Marienburg settlements. Okay, Alariel with the preemptive war. Would it be? Are you talking about Alariel? I'm surprised that she just randomly declared war there, but I've seen stranger things.
Speak.
In fact, oh, free money. Yeah, I'll take that. One really weird thing for one of my runs, the High Elves actually randomly just oh no, you're talking about this lord. Yeah, no. That's terrible. She had 4 loyalty. And she's gonna siege my settlement. Oh my goodness, how could you? I'm tempted to auto-resolve here, but I feel like I might lose everything. But yeah, I had one really weird run where the high elves just set up a trade agreement with me. And then I started the run with a ton of extra money. It was pretty crazy.
Supreme sorceress.
I wish there was a way to get that consistent, but I think that's not a possibility. Okay, so right off the bat, the harpies are gonna land on the Lord, so she doesn't fireball my Hydra to death. That would be the worst case scenario. Then we can use the Black Arc to clear out the rest. Oh, that's strange. Come on. Explode the spears, I guess. There we go. All right. And then we're gonna kill off this traitor for stalling out the time, but she can't even die right. There we go. She's dead. Nice. Freed of Frantically. What a strange name. Cool. It does also give me a bit more experience and extra slaves, so that's definitely a plus. And I would say this run, it's so far, it looks like it should go less than 2 hours. I would say, despite the hiccups, as long as nothing goes terribly wrong, I think I am in a decent position. Now, if the auto resolve kills off the wolves, that sort of sucks, but no, it kills off 2 dark repeater crossbows. Brutal, but the time save is gonna be worth it. I don't need repeater crossbows as much in this part of the run, now that Bretonia's actually down. And that is mostly me making excuses to feel better about myself, but I think we're actually pretty good. Like, I don't really need the Dark Riders, because the hardest battles are going to be siege fights instead. So, not too bad. And Rakarth has most of the Dark Riders anyways. That should work okay. What nonsense am I up to this time? I'm just optimizing the run, so tech. I'm just, yeah. Just trying to speed it up at this point. One main problem is that I need to get more captives, because this right here, yeah, I need 35 more captives, and then I can actually confederate these guys over here, because they need to sail down and take the Shrine of Cain as quickly as possible. Otherwise the run is sort of starts falling apart if I don't get that. But yeah, otherwise it's continuing to practice this. Hopefully getting fast enough where I can do it in like an hour, 30 minutes. That's like my soft goal. Let's Rakarth. Can you recruit only locally? Recruit maxed out. Alright, guess we pass on to the next turn. So what, I have 7 turns to finish the campaign. I have enough time to make it to Altdorf. I should be able to confederate next turn. I think I'll be okay. You rush the captive tech tree and blue skill for it? Yeah, I do. It's really optimizing that, because as soon as I get the confederation off, you can really start steamrolling. Oh my goodness, I lucked out, guys. France, he confederated early. That is amazing. So that means that I can ignore most of the settlements for Marienburg, and I can just oh my goodness, this is great. Yeah, I don't have to take out all of the Marienburg settlements now. Instead, oh whoops, accidentally clicked retreat. Instead, I just need to actually take priority settlements, which is hugely good for me. And then yeah, I just need to get over here, do this battle. Now, yeah, Black Arcs do come with Siege Attacker. I did waste a bit of time looking at that UI and the spinny camera for the past minute, but this is amazing. And I find in this run, you can actually pretty consistently get France to confederate. And nice, it's an auto-resolve battle too. Jeez, that is really good. I'm going to sack and occupy as usual. And we get the Confederation. We also just got a huge influx of cash. So this is the run, guys. It doesn't get much better than this. Rakarth can move up north here to kill the greenskins. Caster Lord will go down here. They converge in on Altdorf. And then after I take that, I have enough I'll have enough of an army to actually take it over pretty cleanly. Let's see, what does she need? Yeah, more magic. And then, yeah, Altdorf, once I take it over, it gives me a ton of, it gives me a whole ton of troops. Like a whole ton of monsters. Works out pretty well. Now, I have 2 armies up here. They use a lot of money. So I have to be a little bit, careful here. And I don't want to play this out. I think this army, if I send her up north and start sacking these Dark Elf settlements, you usually get a pretty decent amount of money from doing this. I also need to sack 20 settlements. That helps me get closer to that. And yeah, now that the ball is rolling, I'm feeling pretty confident. So she needs to be making money to pay for herself. So she has to basically be sacking settlements like every turn or every other turn. This one is going to head down south and then take the Shrine of Cain, one of the victory conditions for the campaign. And even though her army is a bit small right now, it should grow over time. Now, for this lady, she's going to deposit into the Black Ark. And the reason for that is because she's just going to be sacking minor settlements. And I'll be saving a lot of money by pooling into the Black Ark. And then the Black Ark's going to be helping Rakarth actually siege Altdorf. So, I think should be good to go. Need to maximize money. Oh yeah, and here, one strategy you do to make even more money is to just get rid of all these buildings. This gives 200 gold a turn. Much more efficient to disassemble that building. Nice. Nice. Wonderful. Oh, wait. Gotta get my game face on because things are looking good. I think the thing that... Oh, what the... Huntsman General. What's this? Halberdiers? Okay, no problem. Yeah, so as long as the Empire keeps running armies into me, it'll make killing Altdorf a lot easier. The best case scenario is that Altdorf is undefended. But no guarantee of that for sure. And there's also a chance I can run out of money in like turn 24-ish. I gotta be a bit careful on that front too. Cool. So let's play another battle for now and see if win this nice and fast. Oh boy. Okay, so in the battles too, the main optimization that you want to do is you want to clump up troops for this Dark Conduit ability. If you can take out like 4 troops with it at once, then you basically have the battle auto won. So it's a lot more important to get a good Dark Conduit than it is to actually play at maximum speed sometimes. And it looks like on the Hydra we're about to have a really nice cast of it. So, yep, there we go. Amazing. And then I can just use the spells for the rest of these guys. Yes, for Rakarth, he needs to be bouncing around. These guys I'll put on skirmish mode. And now I can start speeding things up. Actually, things are getting a little bit dicey here. I'm definitely not gonna lose this battle. But it's gonna be a bit closer than I would have hoped. In fact, I need to use most of these reinforcements to help me here. Alright. There's a few close battles in this run, but even in the 2-hour run, there were quite a few close battles too, so I think I'm still on pace. Oh man. Good thing I have multiplayer practice, otherwise these types of battles would not be possible. Oh god. Let's see. So what's the plan right now? I think the best course of action, probably kill off the archers and then wait for another dark conduit. That'll help me kill most of the infantry. And then Rakarth, as long as he doesn't die, which he might. If he dies, that would be very bad. But yeah, as long as he doesn't die, then I can have him chase off archers too. The Hydra's gonna snipe out the Lord. And then as soon as this guy's dead, then I'll be good to go. Because it's 100% gonna be army losses as soon as he's gone. In fact, we hit army losses before then, which is even better. So what turn do you think I'll have the victory? Usually turn 26, I think. Getting closer to it, you start getting a lot of victory conditions all at the same time. And then yeah, then you're good to go. Now that I have like 4 armies running around, it's really easy to get these conditions. I'm sacking like 2 settlements every turn. I'm constantly progressing towards these major settlements, and I'll have 8 monsters in no time. In fact, that victory condition is one of the closer ones. Actually building up to an army of 8 monsters can take quite the amount of time. And it's the reason why we have to sack Altdorf, because it gives you 3 monstrous units. Very important. Now this battle here, I'm actually going to play it out instead of auto-resolving, because you need 8,000 captives as one of the victory conditions. So one of the things that I need to actually be winning battles to get that. So even though this settlement itself isn't very important, if I can actually win it, then I'll be set. And a lot of the times, the 8,000 captives is actually one of the last conditions that I finish. So let's go ahead and do that. On the plus side, I can also play these settlement battles really quickly, just because they're not particularly difficult. Really, it's just positioning my troops in the right place, and then I'm good to go, really. Not to mention some dark conduit shenanigans. Could work out pretty well, but that one actually misses. Not the worst though. It's just sort of a time loss, really. See, the trolls are gonna bust through my gates. Gonna move my spears a little bit back so I have a bit of a kill zone over here with my range units. And nice, routed off the trolls. And then it should be army losses in a second for the good old Norskins. Yeah, dark shards here are just way strong. Go, another dark conduit, and then we're set. And by the way, the hero of this run is Dark Conduit. It's just a crazy explosion ability you can throw down onto your troops. And oh my gosh, I'm about to lose this settlement battle. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Yeah. Sometimes it'll go and just back cap your base. And if you're not careful, you can actually lose it. Let's see if I can position well enough. Just rush my army in. Now, if we do lose this battle, it's still not the end of things. But it does mean that we lost, like, you know, a couple minutes off the timer. So, it's going to be a close one. No real way to cap this thing faster. Okay, we lost. We lost the settlement battle. So, the sneaky Norskins just back-capped my base. Huge misplay. Not a huge misplay. Huge misplay in terms of how easy it would have been to prevent it. But we just lose the city. It's fine. We'll move on. Not as bad as the Malekith shenanigans of last time. Last time Malekith really wasted a lot of time in the other speedrun. It does sort of suck that this happened, though. I'm gonna increase loyalty with that. Just for consistency. Yeah, sometimes if you don't increase the loyalty, you can pretty easily screw yourself over. Because the Dark Elf Lords are really prone to rebelling. So I'm just gonna take no risks on that front. For Rakarth, like I said, on his journey to conquest Empire armies. There's a pretty big army over there, though. Let's see.
At your service!
Jeez, that's a big army. Hey, France, being a tiny bit scarier than he usually is. I think I'm going to merge these armies. Yeah, I'm gonna merge these armies, and then. Oh man, this Lord is just so good with her burning head. I feel like I want to just keep her around just for that, just as a caster. And then this guy's gonna try to sneak into the back and take out Altdorf. Yes, for this lady, she is gonna be progressing this way because for some reason the settlement just got obliterated, and that I can't really sack it anymore. For you, we'll be sailing in the sea. I'll be playing the sea battle for the same reason I played the settlement battle, simply for the money and the captives. This is a weird map, though. I don't think I've seen this before. I don't really play the Dark Elves in their what, Nagaroth, whatever. I usually don't play the Dark Elves in the top left area of the map. So that could be a reason why I'm not used to this subtle, not used to this map. Usually when I play factions in general, I like to play them in their unique starting positions. Alright, so here we go. This army should be more than enough for this Vampire Coast army. I think in general, the AI, if there's one faction that I think they're the worst at microing, it's gonna be Vampire Coast. Just they never really micro their range units properly. Just because the AI likes to have skirmish mode on, and when it comes to Vampire Coast, you almost never want to have that. And we're gonna be seeing all these guys melting pretty quickly. Then I'll make a quick buck, and also a pretty nice bonus. You get a good number of captives from these battles too. They're also really good for speed, because you can just ×4 it. You like Cult of Pleasure? They sound kinky. That is a good reason to play them for sure. I prefer I'm not sure. I was trying to think of a different name. Let's see, what other faction names are great? Cult of Pleasure is definitely up there. The rest are lost to me, unfortunate. Now, timer-wise, we're at 1 hour 20 minutes. So, if I wanna, I have 40 minutes to finish off the campaign, which means I have time for like only a few more battles before we start going overtime. Little bit unfortunate, but perhaps I'll still be able to pull through. Let's see. I do definitely have a lot of money. Also going to use this right because it gives you more monsters. Go for this long cooldown one. Maximize your monsters. In this case, I only get one dragon, but that's gonna be enough. As for Rakarth, I'm just gonna stay here and hopefully the Empire armies move up to fight me. I guess, yeah, basically just that. And it really depends on how well this Lord does up in the north. If she stays alive and continues to sack settlements, then I'm good to go. I'm already at 12 out of 20. So I only really need 8 more. My monsters. How many can I recruit right now? I have just the dragon, so I have to kill off Altdorf, and I have to take the Shrine of Cain. But if I do that, then the campaign's good to go. How do you keep your replenishment up? I like to keep the Black Ark nearby, and your right that gives this ability, the Dark Conduit right. It brings your replenishment up by like 8%. It's really good.
We have lives to end.
Let's see. Cool. So this is going to be Burning Head City. And that's going to hard carry in these battles. After you get Burning Head, the Empire is just cakewalk. Super easy to take out. But yes, this run entirely revolves around that right. Otherwise, you very quickly run out of troops. Because, yeah, the Empire, they are no joke. They will send wave after wave of men till you are finally down. Now, oh, it looks like I might luck out. Sometimes they will, when they reform their troops, they clump up like crazy. You can actually get some really nice Burning Head action there. This time around, it looks like they're just going to be splitting up normally. Cool. For most of these guys are actually, they're actually melee too. So this looks like it'll be mostly a kite game. Couple of Reichsguard here. I should be able to blow them up with a Dark Conduit. Doing that because cavalry is one of the more problematic things when playing at ×4 speed. Like I said, the AI is relentless when it comes to cycle charging. Okay, nice. Pretty good group of troops here, too. I can throw the Burning Head onto them. And then it's just waiting for these guys to clump up so I can use abilities. Alright, now. We don't overcast because it has a longer cooldown. And then these guys should be down pretty quickly. For my actual caster lord, she's going to be moving up over here so that she can start clearing up this infantry, because there is a lot more infantry clumped up over here than on this side of the battlefield. Alright, how are my big monstrous units doing too? The mammoth is actually pretty important to keep alive. I'm going to use Rakarth to do that. And remove its rampage, because I need 8 monsters alive to win this campaign, and without the mammoth, it can actually take a while to find the right find monsters. So looks like this is going to be another battle where I'll have to play a tiny bit careful. But as soon as the Supreme Sorceress gets here, should be a-okay. Not to mention I have a lot of kiting tools. And if I can kill off the Lord, that would be good. Who is this? It's Franz. Okay, so it's very important that I kill him off. I'm gonna throw down another Burning Head this way, just to secure that victory. Check in on my monsters. They're having a bit of a rough time. I'm just gonna pull them out of combat and then save them for a late game sort of skirmish. Okay, pulled her out of there. Karth is still alive, amazing. And nice, just let the kiting commence, I guess. Now, I think my mammoth lived. If it died, that'd be pretty bad. And as for Rakarth, oh, geez, Rakarth. Not like this. Come on. How much life does he have? 0. That's pretty bad. How is he still alive? Nobody knows. Okay, well, Rakarth, what a Chad, lives at 0 HP. Who would have guessed it? Actually immortal. Okay, I have no idea what happened there, but I'll take it. It would have been pretty bad if he had died. Not the worst, but I don't. How is he? I guess he has decimal HP. That's not impossible. I think you can act like the HP actually goes into decimal points, but I'm not sure. You know, maybe I'm just hacking the game. Who knows? But he does route off the map, which is actually a good thing for me, because it means that I don't have to worry about him dying later in the fight. And for my Supreme Sorceress, who I forgot about, she needs to continue using the Burning Head. Oh my goodness, what's with all these close fights? You know, these were supposed to be one-sided. I guess if I hadn't lost my Lord early on, I would have had Burning Head much earlier. But whatever. This is actually only the, the second run of this campaign that I've ever done. Publicly, that is. So, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, despite the hiccups. Things are going, like, medium smoothly. Now let's see. Fireballs. I should be killing the Huntsman General. Go ahead and be very careful with the Mammoth. Oftentimes I can get a bit of ahead of myself in these fights and just randomly lose out my my lords and such. So I'm going to be very careful not to make sure that doesn't happen. How's my caster doing? Okay. She actually went into melee against that Huntsman General for a second. Oh man, and she takes a shot to the face. Now another shot's actually gonna kill her. That would be very bad. I'm gonna hit him with the fireball and hopefully that just kills him outright. There we go. And it looks like he does just barely live, much like Rakarth. But this battle's over. It's just damage control at this point. Just make sure nothing dies. And then there we go, army losses. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, fingers crossed, Rakarth doesn't die by a rounding error. Because I saw him leave the battlefield. I know he's alive. Don't do this to me, game. Yeah, because I need to do the quest battle to get all the monsters. In fact, if I get all my monsters with the quest battle, I might be okay. We'll see. Yes, he lives. What a mad lad. All right. Okay. Jeez, what a miracle. Now, the Empire should have very few armies at this point. They want me to pay them for peace. Jeez. But yeah, the Empire should have very few armies at this point, and then I can just take their settlements. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. No guarantee. Oh, thank goodness. Nice. Nice factions destroyed. Cool, cool. Wonderful. Now, how is she doing? Thankfully, I have replenishment in this area. Very good. For that lord. This one is doing much better in my last attempt of this one. He's actually been able to sack 2 settlements and stay very high on HP for all of her troops. So I think this should be a good run, even if we do get closer to the 2-hour mark. I guess I'll have to pick up the pace a tiny bit. The Isle of Wights too. It does have a wall, so I guess that should be able to hold for the rest of the run. Altdorf is actually undefended. It does have a pretty crazy garrison though, so I can't attack it without Rakarth. Also, I just saw I just saw a lot of Empire units for a second there. I think they're all in that in the Empire fort. So that's gonna be a bit scary. Oh boy. We'll see. At the very least, though, I'm gonna have a pretty easy battle this time around. It's got a ×4 it. Man, but let's see, it's 30 minutes. Got 30 minutes. Most of the run has been delayed by some battles. But let's see if I can get it to 26 turns. If I can do it in one less turn, that's also a win. Just because reducing the turn timers. It's a sub goal of this campaign run. Because of course you could just, there are situations where you could totally just constantly pass turns to make the run a lot easier. That's a lot less exciting. So one of the goals that I chose for myself is to also decrease the turn timer as much as possible without extending the run by a long time. It's a little bit fast and loose when it comes to speedruns, honestly, but I think it maximizes the fun. Nice. Okay, finally a fast battle. If I can get all the battles in this run to be this fast, then there'd be no problems at all. Oh, so cool. Cool. And by the way, the rebellions don't actually revive the factions. So even though they have the Marienburg flag, I don't actually have to kill all the rebels to get my campaign victory. And there we go. There's most of the Empire armies. They're really beat up though, so that's no problem at all. How dangerous are your own arrows for your frontline troops? Generally not too dangerous.
Follow me, my beasts.
Yeah, I know there's a trope of like, oh, you're firing into your own men. But when it comes to Warhammer, it's actually completely fine, turns out.
Devour them.
No problem at all firing into your troops.
Moving on.
Let's see, I guess. Kindle Flame. That damage.
Savage them, beasts.
I'm bringing her in just to make this battle a bit faster. But yeah, your troops will generally take a bit of damage when you shoot into them. But practically it's almost always worth it to fire into your troops, even with really inaccurate armies too. Like if you have a bunch of goblins, let's say, it's still worth it. Especially because in Warhammer they have a line of sight blocker, so your troops won't fire if there's something in the way. Yeah, no problem. Alright, like I said, this should be another fast one. Rakarth doesn't have his healing item yet, unfortunately. But yeah, let's just finish this up real quick. Right. Okay, so we'll wait for these guys to clump up. And then the bread and butter. Dark Conduit after a clump up. Then chase down the archers with the skirmishers. That'll put them down really well, even though they actually do surprisingly well in the fight. And then also don't forget the single entities, but it doesn't matter. In fact, you know what? Maybe I should do a Corsair skirmish build. Corsairs are actually really good, because they can fight in combat too. That might actually work a lot better than using these Dark Riders, now that I think about it. The main downside being is that they are very expensive. They also don't have nearly as much mobility. Split up the enemy armies. But I don't think that's super important for this one. Okay, nice. So, this settlement, Uber Shriek, or Uber Sec, I don't know, is actually pretty far away. I'm gonna do a little bit of a risky maneuver here. My sorceress is gonna march towards it so that I can attack it next turn. That'll save me a bit of time. And then Rakarth can just march towards it and save me a turn of marching. That should help speed up the conquest by quite a bit. I don't know, earthing. It's gonna be a rebellion over here at the Isle of Wights. There's a chance that I might lose this settlement. I guess just fingers crossed that I don't. I guess there's not really much I can do about it. How big is the settlement garrison? It's decent. I think I'll have just barely enough time. So cool, let's take a quick look at the objectives. I've sacked most of the cities. So I really just need to get the Shrine of Cain and then kill Altdorf. How many captives do I have? I'm a bit low on that too. Oh boy, it's gonna be cutting it close, guys, for sure. If you're not speedrunning, is it also viable to support armies by sacking instead of building all the income building? Let's see if you're not speedrunning. Is it viable? With some factions, yes. I think the Wood Elves before the DLC were pretty good at that. They might still be able to. Yeah, in general, when I play campaigns, I like to do a mix of both. Because yeah, it generally works out, but the idea is, and sorry, I'm just trying to pick targets for this lady. Guess I'll hit up the Frozen City. Yeah. The general idea is that in some late game scenarios, so wait, do I need to kill Altdorf? Sorry, 1 second. I get 2 monsters if I'm doing this mission quest battle. So I might not need to sack Altdorf, but it's a good contingency plan. Anyways, sacking settlements is really good. If you can get a Doom stack and then find the capitals of a lot of factions, you can pretty easily just sack them, get like 50,000 gold, and be on your merry way. It helps disable most of the enemies in the late game because they're losing their capitals, and you also get a ton of money too. So I would highly recommend it. Pretty fun strategy. It also keeps you very mobile too. Like in this case, you can see Rakarth is just blitzing through the Empire at a pretty crazy pace. That's really good. Shrine of Cain. Alariel is there. And she is she's pretty scary. There's no guarantee that I'll be able to dislodge her from this position, especially given that this army is a tiny bit weak. So I might need to get a contingency plan to get the settlement up there, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. In fact, oh man, this army is a little bit weak. I need to sack Altdorf before I move in with that army.
Pulling back.
Because once I sack Altdorf, I'll have a ton of monstrous units to actually support. And then I can just fully stack them onto the this army down here, and then take the Shrine of Cain and hopefully win the campaign from there. So I think the game plan is set. It's looking like a 26 turn victory is likely, if not faster. So pretty good. How many settlements do I need to take care of? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we might even get it faster than 26 turns. Oh dear, what is this? We have a high elf force of dryads and archers and some eagles. I have a dragon though, so... Okay. Oh man, this is gonna... I think we might go over 2 hours, but I'll still finish the run. There was a lot of time slows for sure. It's still a good run, but... yeah, just a couple hiccups, really. Slowing me down! Wondering how to speed it up. I think definitely the Dark Shard composition is hurting me just a tiny bit. Okay, let's see. The range units are gonna focus down the eagles. Same with the dragon. See, what else could I do to run? I could, pondering. I'm not sure. If you guys have suggestions on composition, I will gladly take it. Now though, continue the run. The main thing slowing me down is the main thing slowing me down is the fact that I can't auto-resolve most of the battles. Or if not auto-resolve, I can't ×4 speed most of the battles. And that's causing the most issues, I'd say. Also, these high elf archers are getting in quite a bit of damage. I'll need to dive in on top of them with my infantry so they start running. What's the most difficult campaign for me to play? I'm not sure. None of them are especially difficult. There's a few that I've had to do a lot of resets on though. Let's see. Oh, the Tomb Kings for sure. The Exiles of Nehek, I think they're called. That one is a very difficult campaign. Just because you don't have any monstrous units for a really long time. And I guess end of sentence. Yeah, you don't have any monstrous units, so you can't really cheese the battles very hard. Speaking of cheesing the battles, this battle's actually starting to get into the state where it's starting to run pretty long too. Just because I haven't been able to push these guys into army losses very quickly. So we'll go with the second victory condition for the campaign ones, where instead of going for the shortest time, I think this run I'm gonna try going for sub 26 turns, and then that'll be its own mini victory for me. Because at this point, getting it to less than 2 hours seems like that might not be possible without a bit of luck. It'll still be close to 1 hour, or close to 2 hours though. I'm just gonna kill off that lord, and there we go. Boy, I think she killed my master, but not too much of a problem. Yeah, most difficult campaign. Definitely the Exiles of Nehek. You don't even have a major settlement. I don't think you even start with walls in that campaign. It's crazy hard.
Put them in chains.
All right. Okay, this one I'm just gonna auto-resolve. No need to go take too long doing that. Challenge accepted. Oh, Ice Power. I hope, I wish you the best of luck. I did have a run that, campaign run of that I played that was going pretty decently. If you can actually stabilize, I think most campaigns in the late game get pretty easy. Even the most difficult of Tomb Kings ones. Now, I did get a Charybdis, so I think on the monster front, I'm good. There's no real worry there. And I really just need to sack settlements and get the Shrine of Cain, and then I'm good.
My beasts shall prevail.
Sneaky,
Tyrant of Nagaroth.
sneakily starts campaign on easy. Oh, you figured it out. Okay, so it looks like I can't really auto-resolve this because I need Rakarth to do the campaign quest battle. Ah, darn it. It's gonna be longer than 2 hours. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think definitely too many close battles. Although I'm wondering if there's a way to get around it. Battles aren't the easiest for sure. There were a couple siege battles that got pretty rough too. The real strategy is getting as many one-sided fights as possible. Said that a couple times. There's also a minor optimization here. Your armies, if it lags a bit too much on ×4 speed, you also lose a tiny bit of time. Not a ton by any means, but it is slightly suboptimal to have your settings on anything other than lowest. But I don't think that really eats up enough time for me to change my settings to lowest. Don't want to compromise the viewing experience too much. Alright, but this should be really, really straightforward. I don't expect this to take very long at all. There we go. We routed off most of these guys. The monsters can in quickly as they can. And then I'll start killing off the cavalry. The name of the game is Army Losses in this battle. In fact, in basically any one-sided battle, that's your goal. You have to do as much damage as possible while taking as little as possible. And usually magic is the best option for doing that. But in this one, we didn't have too much magic going on, fortunately. Okay, so looks like most of the knights are down. Eventually, too, the hope is that I'll be able to speed up these battles on ×4 while still microing properly. But I don't think I'm at that level yet. Okay. See how are these knights doing? They're actually holding up my Corsairs for quite a bit. Cool. Dark conduits and nice army losses. Cool. So that battle actually went really quickly. We need more of those. Spending an extra turn to get a better Doom stack would be a good way of speeding up the turns for sure. And with a bit of luck, you can still get the run under 26 minutes. So looks good. Now, very important here for this quest. You have to sack Altdorf instead of capturing it. Because the quest stays at occupying, just not good enough. You can actually lose out on a lot of these extra units if you do that. It's really rough. There we go. Successfully taken over Altdorf. And I might not even have to do the quest battle, actually, given how well that went. This lady should be able to auto-resolve these battles, yep. And we have to do that as a time save. So up north, things have actually been lucking out for me quite a bit. Nice. So how's our city counter going? We're at 17. We need 3 more. And the finishing blow is going to be this army. Whether or not she actually takes the Shrine of Cain is going to be deciding our victory condition. Because I think basically all of our other conditions have been met. So it's all on this. I'm gonna march her over here. It's a bit risky because Alariel could be around. So I'm actually going to merge most of these troops. Oh crap, she doesn't have she can't recruit units here, so it's just gonna rely on my micro then. Let's see, how are you doing? Alright. See, I'll just quick abilities.
Dreadlord of the Druki.
And then for Rakarth, I head over. See if you can win that fight quickly. Rakarth can take Kemperbad. Then that's gonna be my gonna be 1, 2, and 3 settlements. I also have to make sure that I've killed enough to make sure that I've killed enough guys. I need still 1,000 kills, so it's gonna be a close one, guys. It's gonna be real close for sure. I think I don't have enough captives to win in one more turn, but it's gonna be really close.
Death and carnage await.
Oh man, the captives is gonna be a little bit rough, but I could possibly finish this in 2 turns. That'd be pretty good. Marienburg is under siege. The army's fairly small though, so sometimes they just don't attack. So I think I'm okay there. Okay, fingers crossed. Here we go. Let's gonna turn off skill points because that's not as important now. Gonna go full out on the harpy spam. Oh man, I should have given some troops with the Black Arc, but whatever. Go ahead and take Kemperbad. Okay, going pretty smoothly. Alariel didn't attack my my lord, so that's very good. Here we go. I might just do the quest battle with Rakarth too. That would be an alternative win condition. Okay, we have the Shrine of Cain. Okay, so I have I just need to sack 1 more settlement, and I need 500 more captives. So this battle could actually win it outright, if not very nearly. Oh, do I auto-resolve this? I'm gonna fight it. It's too risky. And then I'll just ×4 it. The battle should be really straightforward. And then we'll be good. This is actually gonna be a really low turn count. And it's gonna be just an hour-long run. That's very good. Alright, so skirmish mode on and just tell everyone to attack. This is the fastest way to win out this battle, really. Go, these guys charge straight on over. Get that explosion. Very good. Corsairs chase off the archers. And then, yeah, this battle's going to be super duper fast. Wonderful, wonderful. To kill off the lords faster, it's better to use range units, because they have a lot higher DPS. Then I need to actually chase off these archers to push them into army losses. Should be fairly fast, as it looks like, yep, the archers get caught. That's army losses. That's this battle done in only a couple minutes. Come on! Come on! Don't you need chaos to spawn as well to win? I disabled chaos in this campaign run. Specifically because chaos takes forever to spawn. And it makes the run a lot more fun. Also, hey Atricol, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Come on, let's sack the settlement. So I have all 20 settlements now. Let's see, this lord doesn't really have enough movement range, but I'm not going to take that settlement in case I can sack it next turn. I need 250 more captives, and then I'm good. Yeah, that's all I need. Jeez. Okay. Let's see. Just take Grumberg. Just go take it. Auto resolve? Nope. Okay, we're gonna have to fight it. This fight I can win, but not especially quickly. We'll see. We'll see. Do you think by doing both single player and multiplayer you're limiting your viewer count, or do you think it brings folks from each side in contact with each other? I think both. I think both, but I'm sort of okay with that situation. Just because I enjoy just just focusing on what I'm doing, and it's gonna be a while before I actually make a living off of this anyways. The only rule that I'm really sticking to right now, Ice Power, is my is Warhammer content. In general, I won't be streaming much other than Warhammer, just to keep that side of things consistent. But also, as long as I'm doing single player content outside of the usual hours, then that should work out fairly well for me. Because yeah, as long as I'm still doing the multiplayer content 3 hours a day consistently, that should account for most of the standard viewership, and then all the single player stuff won't really matter for content wise. Yeah, basically that's my theory of it all. What do you do for a living right now? Programming is the usual thing. Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. Programming. And basically, yeah, just that. I feel like I have something more to say, but nothing's coming up. Maybe it's because I'm trying to micro this as quickly as possible, so that I can actually finish this run. Come on. We're gonna need to use all of the Black Arc abilities here to win this fight. And then I'm probably gonna have to fireball this Lord to death. Let's see. Oh man, are we gonna lose this battle? Hopefully not. The caster is pretty strong. So you have a Helm of Discord too, a bunch of harpies. But yeah, anyways, it's all programming. Currently, I am unemployed, but I have a job interview, and I do, like, you know, general software stuff, just like managing databases and so on. Nothing too crazy. Although I am looking to get into more crazy programming related stuff in the future. Just not at the moment. Oh my gosh, we pushed them into army losses. Sweet. Come on, give me the victory. But yeah, like general automation stuff. Usually, like, you know, you'll have a manager come up to you and ask, like, hey, can you make software that does this this job automatically with fewer errors than people usually have? And then if I can do it, then that's my job. Pretty sure the term is freelance. Comes from the Broken Lances, a medieval knight. Is that true? That's pretty cool. Now, did I win the campaign? I did not. How many captives do I have? I'm down 100 captives. If I killed the Norskins here, we'd be done. Alright, still, we can win this turn, on turn 24. Rakarth, he's gonna go and do the Whip of Agony battle.
My beasts shall prevail.
And this is gonna be it. This'll win the campaign. If this battle gives captives. I don't see why it wouldn't, but you never know. CA might have done the programming weird, where quest battles don't give you captives, but I'm almost certain of it. The only downside is that it takes a bit longer. So I'm trading turn count for time. But anyways, I have so many monsters here. This battle should be very straightforward. If I manage to lose this battle, that would be insane. It's all about time instead, really. Alright. So this guy, we're gonna Dark Conduit on top of him. There we go, we killed off a good number of those guys. Skirmishers are doing great over there. Ribdus and Mammoths are engaged. And then we need to be buffing up as many troops as we can. Nice, nice. This is going very one-sidedly right now. That is very, very good. Army losses can actually... there are reinforcements that show up in this battle. But you can actually get them into army losses before the reinforcements really do anything. If your army's actually big enough. Nakai here is actually causing a few issues in the back line too. I'll hit him with the Manticore and then should be down. Oh, look at that. We hit army losses as the reinforcements showed up. That's amazing. That was a really fast clear of that fight. So here we go, guys. Get ready for time. I think it might just barely be under 1 hour. Come on. Come on. One sub 2 hours, 22 turn one is that's pretty good. Come on. Yes! Time, yes! Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. Jeez. That's a new record on 2 accounts. Oh my goodness. With 7 seconds on the clock. Oh baby. Oh my goodness. That's a good run. That's a really good run. We shaved off 4 turns on it, on the run. 4 turns. That's wait, someone earlier in chat said it was going to be 22 turns. I think, or something along those lines. What's it? So from 26 to 22, that's about like what, 18% ish. That was shaved off. GG guys, right? Yeah, that is a much faster turn wise. And there we go. One big plus that we got this one was my Lord up here really easily sacked all the settlements. He just flew around and cleared out everything. So that was a huge bonus. Another thing was Marienburg got confederated really quickly. And taking the Shrine of Cain was super easy. In other runs, I had to take the Shrine of Cain and then sack some settlements here. Down in Oathwan. And that was the main issue before, but there we go. That went well, and that wasn't even. It can get faster too. I think if I replace my army with Corsairs, it's actually gonna be super duper fast. So that's pretty hype. That is yeah, that's really good. And okay, no, it took 24 turns, not 22. My bad. Minor mistake. So we only shaved like what? Like 8%. A little bit less. My bad. Oh my gosh. I got too hype, guys. I was looking at the turn timer from earlier. But still, very good. We shaved off two turns. And we shaved off to make it sub 2 hours. So very good one. Very good one.